It's a way my cronians make each other feel good, and there were 2 songs inside this little doll.
It sounds fantastic. Can we hear it?
Rico's got it. Come on!
Let's go!
Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike coming at you with the KC Collectibles Zendrati action figures, the Gluu action figures from ROBOTECH, Macross. This is really cool. There's some personality to pretty much some troopers. Gives them some different heads, some options, but again, the same body and gun, and a lot of things are very much similar or exactly the same, which is better than just putting out one figure with some options. You get all these different ones to choose from, whichever ones you like the most, and they all come with a zombie head, which I don't do much with in this video. But anyhow, I did get this at Shozy Storm. I have a link down below where you can get all of these. I'm not going to be in on all of them, I don't think, but we'll look at that, and we'll talk about this and more. ROBOTECH on a Monday, coming up. Alright, so here's how they come packaged. All of these accessories, all this stuff that they've got that you're going to have to put on there. Helmets and stuff. And far more colorful than I realized. Way different than what we're used to with the vintage Matchbox stuff. And now I'm starting to wonder how many of these I'd get, because they're all so personal. Different heads, and the base body seems about the same on all of them. But let's get into this. So here's the boxes for them. And I'm not sure, they don't all have different stuff over here. And then definitely you can see from the brown box who's who with Rico, Konda, and Braun. Alright, so we're going to start with Bron here. And the thing about this one, well, they're all going to be pretty much the same, just different looking head sculpts and stuff. So we're going to get into some accessories, and then I'll do the articulation. Then we can just look at the rest of them, because there are, I believe, the same exact buck. We'll find out here in a bit, though. But it does come with this gun, which looks really cool, and probably matches the animation way better than what we saw with Matchbox. Comes right out of the gate. I love that. Got a holding hand, and then like he's going to be able to hold the front energizer kind of section of the gun. Great head sculpt too. Really looks nice. Nice looking figure overall. Feels really nice. The joints move very smooth, and holds a pose. Yeah, really nice. Now, getting into this, he has a slew of other accessories before we get into too much more. Hands, he's got sort of an opening gripping hand, like he's holding a cup. Another one like that for the other side, and there is, it appears to have in and out articulation on these. Same thing with the fists. 2 fists, in and out articulation on those. But then we get to the alternate helmeted head, which is very, very weird. For it being this small, it's a lot. It's a lot going on with it. But you plug the face in, and then you can plug this piece in, and I'm not sure which head I'm going to go with, like how I'm going to do it. But let's pop this off. I feel like you need to pop the visor piece and the head in at the same time. You could pop another head in, like zombie head. You can have a zombie head going on like that. And then of course you could plug this into it too. I haven't seen anyone do a review on this, on these. Like I've seen them use them for like a prototype to just fit them into the vehicle, but not really showing all the accessories. How all this is supposed to go down, how it's supposed to work. They do have some nice little instructions too. So then here's a face visor, which I guess you would need to put a head in like this, and then put the full face visor, which it makes sense to have one that you can see like this over him, which that might be the route I go. And then that goes on there like so. That might be the route I go. I think I might like that one the most for this. Then you've got this one, which is just a full-on shield, which you wouldn't be able to see the face of the figure, which still looks cool too. All these different options make it to where you can just have you don't have to have them with their individual personalities and stuff. You can just have them look like this. I don't know. I kind of like the windswept hair and all that. It looks good. But yeah, so there's the accessories. A lot of accessories that amount to not a whole lot really going on. Just options. pretty much the same bucket, looks like. We'll see more when we get it out, but the rest of them out, but there it goes. Let's get into articulation. Head goes side to side on a ball joint. Down, really good, actually. Really good down. Some decent upward movement to it. Shoulder only about to there. You can do the 360, of course, on a ball joint. Bicep swivel is hindered a bit. Looks like a double jointed elbow, but only goes to there. And then this open hand in and out, and it spins, of course. You have the torso movement. You have waist swivel. So 2 ball jointed parts here, kind of how it's been going lately. And then 90 to the front, 90 to the side, past 90 to the back somehow, and that feels pretty nice. And then we've got, okay, this popped off. So you go too far, you pop off his piece there. Anyway, with the knees double jointed, kind of knobby knees, covered up by the giant boot he's wearing, so not a big deal. Aesthetically wise, it's not a big deal. Articulation wise, because they're so big, less chance of breakage, so it does feel solid. And then you got some toe movement in here. And I will say, the way the feet are, I don't feel like the feet are the most solid. He does want to lean back a bit, but it is what it is. Next, we're going to get into Konda here, and I will say this, they are exactly the same in the body. I don't notice any difference whatsoever in the body, which is fine. That's, you would expect military, same body and all that. One other way to carry the gun, they give you the strap, put it over the shoulder. I'm sure you could do it over this way too. I think that's just real easy, quick to look at, and kind of thought it would be fun to just roll it through the hand there. That's fine. I do remember these are $55 figures for 4.5 inch scale. So, I mean, I don't think I'm going to go to town on all of them. But I do think I need a couple more just to have a little army of them. But here's the real major difference is the head sculpt, the head, all that crazy hair. In ROBOTECH, all that crazy hair that they had going on is definitely a thing. It was definitely a thing. And so set it aside from a lot of the other animation that's out there. I decided this is the head setup that I want to... Oh, no. This is what scares me about swapping heads is this. Oh, no. Let me see. The peg stayed in the head. I actually have a few tools in my review space because I've had to deal with this before in the past. So I guess past performance is indicative of my future result here. Let's go the easier route. Maybe it's easier to plug it in to the neck. I don't want to lose this, or else there's no way to get the head on there. Plug it in the neck. And as you can see, stuff like this is why I really, nothing against no dig at the toy or anything like that, but this is why I'm not super huge into swapping accessories and stuff. Just, it's a lot of work, and sometimes you can mess it up. And I might even have this visor, not visor, but like mouth guard piece on wrong. I don't know. Let me see. There. So putting all these parts on is not, to me, it's not fun, but it's not easy either. And I want to make sure that, you know, when I'm moving around in displays and stuff, it's not falling off. I think I had that upside down. So now that's right. Then we can get his gun back on him, and he can hold his strap, and that's going to be my pose, and then we'll get on to the next one. Now for Rico, we're going to take a look at him, do something a little bit different. I mean, we're reviewing the exact same figure 3 times with slightly different heads. And they have another accessory we're about to talk about, but get him into sort of this crouching sniper pose. Probably not how you would snipe someone, but it's just what can you do with the articulation? You can do a lot. It does show in the instructions. There are instructions too, by the way. It does show in there where you can fit them in. Right here it shows that you can fit them into the battle pod, which is coming. It's coming. It's the Zentradi Battle Pod. I don't have it yet, but I plan to take a look at it. It does look pretty awesome. Really, I'm not into all the Robotech stuff that doesn't accept figures. So the stuff they're making accepts figures, which is awesome. KC Collectibles. And yeah, looks pretty good. Like the pose, holds it really well. Very solid figure, and slightly bigger than the vintage. Not as big as the full-size Zentradi. And I don't know, maybe I'll just leave him with Rico, just have a standard head. So you got 3 of them with 3 different head options, all doing their thing, all looking the same yet different. Do want to say they do feel back heavy for some reason. And I want to point something else out there. They were packed with, okay, so this guy had plastic in his ankles and his knees. This one had plastic on his backside. No plastic stuffed anything on the Konda figure. I don't know why. Let's get into the next accessory. If you remember from the show, Zendradis were 10 times the size of, maybe 20 times. 10 times? 10 or 20? 10 times the size of standard humans. So they included these small little figures. And I'm keeping them with the figures that they're supposed to be with. But, and in their little baggies here. Maybe it's hard to see with the baggy glare reflection. They all just look like they're wearing ratty clothes, because when they sized them down, I guess that's what they wore. Is that how it was? Is that what's going on with these? Anyway, this actually looks like different characters that they're included with. So I could be wrong on everything. I mean, I have in the past been wrong on stuff. So anyway, kind of cool they included it. I wish I had a little more background on it. And it's comparison time. I usually don't rip off Pixel Dan like that, but 3 times a year. But I thought it was funny because Bill and Jones, I was listening to them, they were talking about how so many people copy Pixel Dan, and I just had to do it. Anyway, this is the Matchbox comparison. There's not a lot to compare these to, but I'll come up with some stuff. So on this side is what out of all of the Zentradi Warriors or whatever, I think the 6-inch one looks the best and it's the coolest, but he sucks on articulation. But he looks amazing. Look how good that looks. That looks amazing. And not the hardest 6-inch to get, the second hardest 6-inch to get, but this is all he does. And he doesn't come with a gun accessory, and his arm just goes in like, I don't understand. Why couldn't they figure out how to get the arm to go up instead? Why in? Why is he doing this? I don't know. So that kind of sucks. And this helmet is strange. But he looks amazing. If looks could kill, he can't. He doesn't have a gun, and he'll hug you to death. The vintage ones over here. Now, the ones I have in the front of my collection, first off, I think there's 2 series, like older ones. This is an old first release or something. Someone that knows more than I do. I just know I have 2 different versions. I've got multiple versions of a lot of them. So those look better as if they were the second release. But what I want to say is the gun looks like this versus what these guys have with the rifle. And it is what it is. But I keep in the front of mine the ones that don't have guns, so I can keep track of how many guns I still need to pick up for as cheap as I can. Don't spend like super ton of money on them, but there's the difference. So these are touted as 4.5 and these are 3.75. So that's a 3/4 of an inch difference. As you can see, they have these removable helmets on theirs, which are too big because it is what it is. This is more accurate. It is what it is. And I mean, it just how it goes. And then like all the heads on these guys were just, green head. And yeah, there it is. That's a comparison. So I guess I'll compare them to G.I. Joes then. So this is some bad guy troops as you would expect from G.I. Joe. That's how it looks, size-wise, scale-wise. These do look more advanced. Could you imagine if like something like this for G.I. Joe was made back when? Well, I don't know. I like the vintage G.I. Joe stuff, but in fact, I like the articulation, everything with the vintage Joe back in the day so much. I got rid of my Star Wars, and just G.I. Joe was pretty much it. But there you go. When most people troop build, you're just taking the exact same figure and troop building a whole bunch of them, and no personality. not doing anything different. But when you do that, like, you kind of wish there was some way to make them a little bit different, other than different versions, you know, the variants. But I gotta say, the way they're doing it with this KC Collectibles, I think is a really great idea. All right, so this is my look at the KC Collectibles 4.5-inch Robotech Zendrati figures. You got the Braun, the I gotta remember the names, Rico and Konda, and I don't know how many they're gonna make. I think they might make like, I don't know, 20 of them, 20 different ones. It's better than them just putting one figure out and you got some different heads. It's nice that they did all this. I don't know how deep I need to go. I don't think I need too many of these. I think 5 is my number, so I might get 2 more. Pick and choose as I go. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours at Showzy Store, where I got mine. Like, subscribe, and Titanium Hanger out.
Oh, this singing really makes me feel funny. So, this is what they call singing, huh? I think I like it.
Is it true we could hear the real singer if we became spies and lived among the Micronians?
That's the truth.
As a matter of fact, when you hear the real singer, you'll probably like her more than this doll.
Just wait until you hear the next song.
You mean there's more than one?